Mo, I need your advice.
Yeah?
See, I got this friend named Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
Shabadadoo.
Sabadabadoo!
Shabada. Shabadabadaba.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
Hello, Internet! My name is Shannon, and today I bring you Yurikuma Arashi, a 26-episode series from that wizard of weird himself, Kumihiko Ikuhara, the same mind from Penguin Drum and Revolutionary Girl Utena. So without further ado, let's get on with the synopsis. At some point, somewhere in outer space, the small planet Kumalia exploded. As its particles showered the Earth, for some reason, all of the bears stood up to attack humanity. In due time, a great wall of extinction was built between humans and bears, and they could no longer show aggression towards one another. One morning, Kuroha Tsubasa and Sumika Izumina were alone watching lily flowers blooming. Just then, a bear warning pierces loudly through the air. Mysteries bring on more mysteries. A series of one raging blow after another. Not gonna lie to you, it's weird. At first glance, this show is very weird. When I first watched it, I almost wanted to drop the series after episode 3, but once I accepted this weird and the ball got rolling, I got to see the real charm of this show. Being in Ikuhara work, it was anything but the norm, but this shows how great he is with colorful themes and metaphors. As the show becomes more clear, I felt as if the drama was better enhanced because of all of the unique scenes and visuals. Plus, for a Yuri, the scenes weren't very sexual at all, very light, and was presented to symbolize a deeper meaning. Thus, it didn't give you that disgust of an overly sexualized generic show. As for the themes of the show, I really enjoyed its various messages. For example, even if there are other animes out there that deal with the topic of bullying, adding the factors like sexual openness and preference makes the show all the more interesting. Plus, I gotta hand it to Yurikuma for giving a big, giant, symbolic middle finger to those people who only want to see a lesbian relationship in media for the sake of some girl-on-girl action. It's a show that doesn't hide for what it really is, and the weird atmosphere makes you want to know more, making those cliffhangers and out-of-order sequences seem dreamlike in concept, or some truly interesting imagery. The downside are simply two things. One is that until you get past the weird atmosphere, or the initial confusion that is given within the first 3 episodes, you will feel as if all of the flashbacks are becoming very redundant. Even if you are understanding the ambiance, sometimes the show can use the same dialogue and scenes and become very much of a letdown. And 2, this is because some of the topics discussed in Yurikuma didn't really fit the, direction in which the show was heading for. But because that is related to spoilers, I will not talk about that any further. In short, the characters can be best described by the theme they are representing. You have our main character, Kuroha, who is open about her romantic attraction to her lover Sumika and doesn't see a reason to hide it. Simply put, she is the chosen one of the series, for she is the only human girl who is willing to take in all of the bullying and pain if it's meant to protect what she truly cares about, hence the phrase, not backing down on love. She wants revenge on the bear race who killed her mother, and thus puts on a tough front in order to keep herself in check, which I personally like. However, as the chosen one, she succumbs to the flaw of being a broken record sometimes. I get that she's grieving over things, and it's her wall of comfort to put these things up, but her lack of compromise and naivety is very apparent in major events. Then we have the human girls of the series, who spend their days purging the evil they think that graces their land. Even though they hate bears as much as our main lead, they will also not hesitate to attack any human that doesn't conform with them, and thus representing those parts of society that doesn't accept the publicity of same-sex relationships, plus ironically being hypocrites in their own moral code. Luckily, these people don't last long because due to the circle of life, if you will. For spoiler reasons, I will not go into the bears individually, but what makes their love different in the sense of our main lead Kuroha is that you have the good bears who know the consequences for seeking love, and the bad ones who never learn going too far for their catch. They become clouded by their own strong desires, resulting in skewed outcomes. What makes this more interesting is that the bears will take down anyone, and I mean anyone, human or bear alike, to preserve that love and which is vital to their very nature. Of course, this is an exception to the 3 male bears who represent the patriarchy system, and how they really don't play much of a role besides facilitating the trials and overseeing the events being played out. But once you understand the criteria for a bear to eat a human, or in fact to become a human, then this anime will make a lot more sense to you. The animation style for this series is best described as simple yet vibrant. In fact, if the art style was any more detailed, it would make things a whole lot more confusing. Immersion is always a fun aspect in anime, but you still want to keep things simple for story's sake. Now, if you are familiar with Ikuhara's direction, then you know that animation-wise, a lot of visual statements tend to be presented with simple shapes, accommodating light coloring, mostly in pinks and pastels. I, who is a fan of this kind of interesting imagery, can appreciate the variance in design and etching in the backgrounds. I have to give it the Studio Silverlink for all their detailing, and this is Ikuhara's best choice when it comes to coloring. Sound-wise, it was weird, yet appropriate. When I close my eyes, I think of my inner mind going through twists and turns of radical evolution when hearing it on some occasions. Other times, I felt contorted from its weird presence. But I simply love the soundtrack whenever it went into the more intense situations. A soundtrack nicely fit for this show and this show alone, like custom fitting a suit to its wearer. The opening was a sweet, playful tune, while the ending was a fun, upbeat palate cleanser to all the drama we had just seen. Nothing special after that since it was really just still visuals, except for that dancing bear, of course.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right, it's better than yours.
So after everything's been said and done, did I enjoy this series? Yes, I did. I really don't expect much from this season, but there were a few outliers out there that made it fun, and this was one of them. And even though I wish some of the things got more expanded upon, or if we had a better understanding of some things by the end of the series, the resolution was not only adorable, but simply magical. So I say a job well done. So after some consideration and many trips to get the same bowl of honey, I award yurikuma with 7 dancing bears out of 10, with a recommendation to try it before you buy it, and a watchability rating of T for teen. If you are at least 15 years old, you could probably handle it. As for any other recommendations, I can easily point you towards Sakura Trick, another show about 2 girls falling in love. It's a lot more easier to understand and calmer than yurikuma. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. My name is Shannon, this has been my review on yurikuma, and until next time, stay tuned to Anime America.
Hey, we got a website. You should check it out. Link is in the description box down below. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, so follow us. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to Anime America Podcast for more awesome reviews. If you're interested in anything of pop culture, check out our other awesome channel, Pop Spectrum. You'll be glad you did. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.